going on, guys? Dennis from Ted's, bringing you something brand spanking new. Guys, I just got this in. I'm one of the first dealerships in the area to get this thing in, and well, here you see it. The Pioneer 1000, the newest, biggest, baddest thing from Honda. And buddy, let me tell you one thing for sure, it is freaking cool. Pardon my French, but man, you're talking about a hell of a riding machine. Now, anybody who's seen the side-by-side market, been following the side-by-side market, this is one of the biggest, fastest growing markets in this industry right now. Can-Am, Polaris, Arctic Cat, everybody is jumping into this market, and everybody felt like Honda was being left out of the party because they had the Pioneer, which was a 700cc. You're talking 38 horsepower on their biggest side-by-side they had out. They also have a Pioneer 500 that they brought out last year as well. Really neat 500cc, smaller level of side-by-side, something that you could fit into the back of a pickup truck. But everybody was wondering, where's the power at? How come Honda isn't coming to the party? You read the shootouts over the last couple of years, nobody's even invited Honda out to these competitions. Well, guess what? We have our invitation. All right, what you're looking at here is a 1000cc Unicam design motor. Okay, this is a Unicam style motor, the same style of motor as what they're using in their racing performance off-road machines, the CRFs, the 250s, the 450s, you know, those powerhouses from out there in the dirt. Same kind of technology is going in here. And what you're looking at as well is a 6-speed variable transmission, okay? And when I say variable, it's because it's got so many different options. Now, we're not talking about the CVT of the competitors. This is a Honda. Honda doesn't mess with that crap, okay? CVT, constant velocity transmission. Those are the guys with the belt systems, like your Polaris and like the Can-Ams. Great system, good power delivery, but you don't have the dependability of geared and shaft driven stuff, the instantaneous power delivery of the geared and the shaft driven. Now this 1000 has got 77 horsepower, okay? 77 flipping horsepower on a side-by-side. That is incredible, okay? That is great power delivery. And whenever you've got the solid geared transmissions and the shaft delivery, you don't get near the power loss that you do in the CVT. So you're gonna see, I know what you're saying to yourself, well, so-and-so and these guys, their power levels are up here, but they're all running the CVT style transmission. So the question is, how well are they gonna be able to get that power to the wheels? Okay, now I told you about the variable transmission. You've got a 6-speed dual clutch transmission. This is the same transmission that Honda's been using for years in their racing performance, their F1 performance open wheel racers, okay, that have done so phenomenal. This is a great transmission system, and it gets the power where you need it to be, and that's what's really impressive about it. It's a great work class vehicle. Also, it is a lot of fun. Like I said, 77 horsepower. That's enough for anybody to have some fun. And we're going to show you here in a few minutes. I'm going to get in this thing and we're going to go out. As you can tell by looking at it, I've already ridden it a little bit. Hey, I got to learn about the product, right? One of the hard parts about my job is I got to go out and play in these things once in a while. God, I know everybody's feeling sorry for me, right? Guys, what you're looking at is 27-inch Maxxis Carlisle tires. Okay, so they went ahead and they put a big, good, aggressive tire. You got the good rims here, not just aluminum alloy or anything of that nature. You've got a good, solid rim, something that's going to take the abuse on it. Now, in the front, you're going to have right at 10.5 inches of travel on that suspension. Okay, 10.5 inches of travel in the front. That's going to give you 10 inches of travel in the rear. Okay, but ground clearance, overall ground clearance on this used to saying bike. Overall ground clearance on this vehicle is 12.8 inches. Over a foot of ground clearance. So you're going to be able to get through and in anything you want to get through. Honda's thought about a lot of things with this machine. Right here is access to your panels. You've got an air breather and your electronics right here. So if you notice on my 5'10" lofty frame here, that is where your air filter and your electronics are. You have a dual stage air filter on this one, okay? It's got a pre-foam filter that will go into a paper filter. Now the paper filter is going to give you a lot longer lifetime than the average foam filters that the competitors use. It's a Honda. They're always looking for that durability. That's where you get the name, okay? That's where people think about on Honda, and they have not disappointed us here. So like I say, a 2-stage filtration system up here, and you've got the electronics all up here nice and high. So we're talking, you can just sink this puppy all the way down. You could be legs in the water, going creek crossings, going into the mud, wherever you want to go in, and still have no problems or no issues with this thing running. And as I said before, no belts. You don't have any belts, so you don't have to worry about squalling or squealing or anything of that nature. Now, this is the top dog. Okay, this is the 1005S. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. 5? What do you mean by 5? You see 2 seats there? Well, normally whenever you do a 4-seater on a side-by-side, you're talking about a school bus lengthwise, okay? I've seen them, I've ridden them, and they're all very, very long. Not very convenient for the trails. With this one, you've got the same wheelbase, whether you're gonna go with a 2-seater or a 3-seater or a 5-seater, excuse me. So all you gotta do is you're gonna come back here, you're gonna grab this door handle. Right underneath in the back side of this door, it's hard to see, but you reach down in there, you can feel it pretty obviously, and that's gonna pop right open. Whenever it comes open, you've got your dump bed here. Now this is a fully functional dump bed, something to take into consideration, okay? You got a lever right here that's going to pop that puppy right open. Hydraulic assist, so if you got a big load in there, you can get help dumping it. You got to pick it up yourself, of course. And then just simply fold up the seats. And then she's going to come right down, and nice and easy. Enough room for a full-grown adult. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Maybe I'm not a full-grown adult, but hey, I'm old enough to drink, so technically I'm an adult. But plenty of comfort to take your buddies along with you. Now, you notice I did say a 5-seater. It is a little bit wider than its predecessors, and it's a legal 3-seat in the front bench. Okay, so you've got 3 seat belts and 3 positionings for people to ride in. One of the other things that I thought was really, really cool, and this is something that's only available on the 5-seater, okay? A self-leveling bed technology. You've got a little dampener system down here, okay? Say like you get a couple of your big boys back here. You guys are going on a hunting trip or something of that nature, and we're talking big boys. Once you hit a bump, okay, you're going to be riding sort of low in the rear. Once you hit your first bump, the rear shock is actually going to close off its release. So whenever it rises up, it's going to go to automatically level itself, and it doesn't do it with an air ride system. It's not a compressor system. It does it by a second small shock that compresses in the back. Once that compresses, it acts like a switch and then allows it to level itself just using a hydraulic. It's a brilliant system, but what do you expect from Honda? Plain and simple. Now guys, one of the other things I really noticed about this machine is how quiet it runs. Whenever we're out there, a lot of the times I see people using these are going to be going with a lot of hunters, a lot of farmers, a lot of people that are using these things for work. You don't want something loud and obnoxious, okay? It's going to scare away the game, it's going to wake up the neighbors, or piss off the general population. And that's what I really like about this. It's a very quiet machine. Very quiet machine. Very easy to ride. Telling you about the transmission. 6-speed, automatic. Okay, your automatic, you've got a manual transmission and an automatic transmission setting. Whenever you go to the manual transmission, you've got 2 paddle shifters. Right here, just like in that F1 Formula race car type inspiration. 2 paddle shifters to be able to shift the gears as you see fit during the manual mode. Flip it to the automatic mode, and you're going to cruise sensibly. Then, you've got a sport mode. So you can actually hit the sport mode on it, and it's going to wind those gears out a little bit more. And then, if that's not enough, Honda stepped it up even more. Say you're in the automatic mode, standard, just cruising. One of your buddies goes flying by on a 4-wheeler, you want to go catch up to him? Hit the downshift button. Your paddle shifters will still work while you're in the automatic mode. Like I say, guys, Honda's really outdone himself this time. I can't wait to get invited to the party, and even more so, I can't wait to go fill this thing up with some mud. So I think that's it for me, guys. You have any questions on this or anything else from Honda or anything you see on my website, guys, give me a call. Phone number here is 618-462-3030, or hit me up via email, dennis@tedsmotorcycleworld.com. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go get muddy. See what I mean? Quiet. Oh, so you guys want to go along? Let's go see what this thing will do, shall we? Easy operations for the gear shifter. Instantaneous power delivery because we're dealing with the shaft drive. Okay, going down this hill and my foot is not at all on the gas. We're using engine braking. Engine braking is standard whenever you've got the dual clutch style transmission. And now we're going out and cruising. As you can tell, I'm able to talk and not really having to yell too loud because, as I said, it's a good, quiet running machine. Now the transmission is super simple to use. You've got an automatic and a manual transmission button here. With a flick of the button, boom, I'm in gear. To shift, just like so, or to downshift, easy to work with. Put it back over into the automatic mode, just one click of the button, and we're back in it. Oh, hey, all right, you didn't even know we were gonna go through a mud pit, did you? Anyway, now I'm gonna go over and flick it over into the sport mode, and boom, she starts lighting up pretty darn easy. It's an easy way to put the 72 horsepower to the ground. The machine is absolutely phenomenal. Now, we're getting ready to come up here into the actual dealership's area where we've got nice grass. So you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna take it out of the two-wheel drive. You've got two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. From the four-wheel drive, you've got the four-wheel drive with the all-diff lock. Or when you're up by your dealership or up by your mom's place, you've got turf mode. Put it over to turf mode, and what you're gonna do is you're only running with one wheel being powered. So that's not gonna tear up the grass around the wife's house, around the mother-in-law, all these things that you really wanna try to avoid pissing off, okay? And well, you know me, I don't wanna piss off anybody. You can't sell anybody nothing if you piss them off, just saying. Now we're gonna head back here into the trail. And one other thing I wanna point out, if you notice, I'm one-handing this thing the entire time. This has got an electronic power steering system to it. And the electronic power steering is super smart because it only gives you the amount of assistance you need. As you're going faster, it actually works as a steering dampener as well. Okay, so everything has been thought of in this machine. Even with the amount of horsepower you've got a 1,000 pound hauling capacity on the machine. And on top of that, you can tow up to 2,000 pounds. Now we're getting ready to come up to the hill climb here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pop it into four-wheel drive. Hell, let's go four-wheel drive all diff lock. Why not? I got power steering. I'm still gonna one-hand it. Everything pops up on your digital display. And like I said, it's super easy to use. What do you expect? It's a Honda. Well guys, that pretty much takes care of it. We'll see you guys out there.